Welcome to Biblical Awareness, where God is the Master and in His words we surrender. Now, let us prepare our hearts and minds for God's message. Good day, hello. Now, this is Father's Day, but the hardest thing to accept from a father is the word discipline. Okay, we have talked about God's caring touch on the first week, and then previously we have thought and talked about the compassionate touch of God. This time, this is one of the hardest thing to talk about. Okay, I'll just fix my seat. Okay, here we go. The matters of God's correcting or corrective touch. Well, obviously, most of the time, it is the father who does the discipline. Well, not nowadays, but maybe most of the time, it is expected for fathers to do the discipline. So here we will understand God's hand on this matter as it goes seemingly contrasting to God's compassion, yet it is one of the best things that a father can do. Okay, so here's our title for today: God, or the Father's Hand of God, the Correcting Touch. So, as we always do, we will read the verses or passages that will come from Hebrews 12, verse 5 to 13. This is a bit shorter than before because it's an epistle, and usually an epistle proves or shows more lessons in shorter time. Okay, so verse 5: And you have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. Verse 6: For whom the Lord chasteneth, or chastise in other version, and scourge every son whom he receives. If you endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons. For with what son is he whom the Father chastise or chasteneth not? Verse 8: But if you be without chastisement, whereof are all partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. Verse 9: Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh, which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits, and live? For they verily for a few days chastened us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. Now, no chastening, for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yielded the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. Two more: Wherefore, lift up the hands which hang down, and the feeble knees. And last one: And make straight paths for your feet, lest that which is lame be turned out of the way, but let it rather be healed. Okay, so God's discipline. Here we will first see the purpose of discipline. Okay, here we go. The purpose of discipline, first thing in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 6: affection, love. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, he chastise. For whom the Lord loves, he chastise. So, here's the thing: The Lord will give discipline to whom He loves. That's the matter here. Second thing, from the same verse, we will see that discipline will prove acceptance as sons. Here. And scourges, spanks, in our modern term, every son whom he receives. Scourge and acceptance. Painful, but it proves that we are connected to God, our Father in heaven. Okay. Last is the affirmation, Hebrews 12, verse 8. But if you be without chastisement, you are bastards and not sons. So, it means that a father will naturally discipline his children. If you are not disciplined, then you may be an orphan or something like that. Okay, so, but better yet an orphan, but the worst is you are not a son. Okay, that is the purpose of discipline, which God did. Now we will transfer it to the same point, but this time we will have it into the concern of God. Okay, so here we will see that God is our Father who loves us. Okay, that's why we have discipline. If we will return to this verse, the Lord loves, He chastise or chasteneth. Okay, so, and of course, the Lord accepts us. That's why we have that same verse. He gives us discipline so that we will have a better character in the end. Okay, well, verse 8, the Lord decides whom His sons will be. So, to see that, we will have to deal the matter, which means we are under discipline if we are really to be God's children. Okay, so this is what a father does, especially God, our Father, does. A corrective action. Okay, so what will be our response? Expected response. It is given on the passage as well. So we'll begin first. We need to submit to the process. Okay, let's see it here. We have had fathers of our flesh corrected us or correcting us, and we give them reverence. How much more the God, our Father, who is in heaven? Okay, so submission. That's the first thing. Second, we need to strengthen on the process. Wherefore, lift up the hands which hang down and the feeble knees. Actually, discipline is sometimes weakening or usually weakening the morale or hearts of the person being disciplined. But here it is said that we need to strengthen whatever it is that is weakening in us during the time of discipline. Okay, so let's continue. And straighten on the process. So, make straight paths, meaning we are to correct what is being corrected by the Lord, not the other way around. Okay, so this is pretty clear but hard to accept. A bitter pill for us. Okay, so here we go. Maybe we can ask a few questions in the end of this message. Am I submitting myself to God's discipline, or are we submitting? Well, the answer belongs to you who is watching this message today. And am I strengthening my heart and will while under God's discipline? And of course, am I strengthening my walk into righteousness under God's discipline? Okay, so I hope that with this message we understand God's disciplining hand, which is again a bitter pill to accept. But then, this is the truth, and if we are being disciplined, then we are children of God. Okay, so maybe we need to pray for this so that we have a heart for this. So, here's our prayer request for this day as connected to our message. We need to pray for the submission of our will so that we get to submit our will to God's discipline. We need to pray for the strength so that we can walk through the disciplinary process in God's grace. And of course, we should pray for a straight way, a better way, a cleaner way, so that we can have righteousness before God under the God's way of discipline. Okay, so I hope this does so much for us. And again, happy Father's Day for all, and God bless. And we hope that this message be applied, not just heard for this moment. Okay, so without further ado, again, I should say God bless everyone. Pray for the fathers, for their strength, for their guidance. Well, fathers like me, having a son of my own. Okay, so let's pray for the fathers of the family, the head of the families. Okay, so God bless everyone and thank you.